So in this segment of Mrs. M's Math to the Masses in a minute or two, let's look at practicing recognizing congruent triangles by their markings. Okay, so the easiest one to spot would be the pink one on the far right, where you have this side marked with one tick mark and this side marked with a tick mark. It does help if you'll mark right on the picture. I see 2 tick marks here, 2 tick marks here, 3. So I can say I have side, side, side congruence. I can trace from 1 to 2 to 3, 1 to 2 to 3. These would, yes, be congruent by side, side, side congruence. Okay, how about this one here on the left? I have this angle marked like this angle. These two angles are marked the same. And yes, the side between them is marked congruent. Angle, side angle to angle, side angle. It was this way, angle, side angle to angle, side angle. Therefore, those two triangles are congruent. Let's try these smaller green ones. I have angle, side angle. So again, it is the included side between the two angles. And here I have, this should be one mark here, like one mark here. Okay. There's an angle marked. Here's an angle marked. And here's a side. So if I read this in the order it flows on the triangle, I would have angle, side, angle. But here if I read it in the order it flows on the triangle, I have angle, angle, side. This is not congruent. This situation does not work. ASA to AAS will never work. Those two triangles are not congruent. Slip down here to another example. This angle here is marked like this angle here, and the two arcs here match the two arcs here, and this side is shared by both triangles. If I separated those out, I would have those two angles and this side, and since this side is also in this triangle, I would have an angle. So I'd have angle, side angle to angle, side angle. These are little arc marks. ASA to ASA. So yes, in this pink triangle, there is congruence, or in this pink composite picture with two triangles. So I would write my statement, CBA, triangle CBA, congruent, since C with one mark corresponds to A up here, triangle ADC. You have to be very careful. Remember, it's picky, picky, picky in this unit. In this situation, again, in this composite picture, AC is part of both triangles. So I would have this side congruent to this side congruent to itself, and these angles are congruent. So on the left, I have side angle side. On the right, I would have side angle side. And yes, these two triangles are congruent. And the statement would have to read triangle. Let's go ABC is congruent to triangle ADC. To have all the corresponding parts in the corresponding positions. On this triangle, this composite picture here, two triangles, you immediately have to think of vertical angles are always congruent and mark them. So I have a side congruent to side, another side congruent to a side, and I have an angle congruent to an angle. So over here, if I go in order, I have side, side, angle. If I go in the same order, side, side, angle. These are not congruent. Those are backwards donkeys. And we do not allow donkeys forward or backwards. It is not a shortcut. These two triangles are not congruent. A couple more scenarios to look at. Here I do have right triangles, so I could evaluate to see if hypotenuse leg would work or what else would be at work here. So I do see the hypotenuse marked on each, and I do see one leg a leg is the side of a triangle marked on each. So these two triangles would be congruent by hypotenuse leg. And one last example harkens back to when we learned about parallel lines and transversals. Since AC is parallel to BD, I have this transversal, and we know that alternate interior angles are always congruent. So I know that this side is shared by both triangles, and with that much information, I do not have any more angles, it wouldn't work. But what if they'd marked, let's see, what if they'd put a tick mark here and here? Then I'd have this side marked like this side, this angle marked like this angle, and this side congruent itself. So with the markings I've added, we would have side, angle, side to side, angle, side. This side, this angle, this side, this side, this angle, this side. And yes, that would be congruent as marked.